My name is Scott Lucas. A lot of people around the northeastern tip of Tennessee know me as the Bug Dude. It's because there's this story that goes along with it. It happened on a little lake called Boone Lake, and I can't tell you how many adult beverages I consumed, but I did that. I enjoyed it while I was doing it. I just went ahead and bought some beer and decided I was going to go to the lake. Now, I have a good friend on the lake. His name is Fred, and he's got this cabin on his property that's under construction. And we go, I go down the hill after I go out to this little private cove. I go down the hill, and you know, he tells me there's a radio underneath a grill, and I go out there and I walk down the hill and I reach down for the radio, and when I do, something caught my eye. It was about, in my opinion, 12 to 14 feet up in this tree, and I just can't explain it. There was something on the tree. It was green. All I knew was green. It had a black head. It had black tips on its wings and in its rear end, and I had no idea what it was. The first thought that went through my mind was, is this fake? And there was no way. There was no way, you know. I was just dumbfounded. You know, here I am with this radio looking at this bug, and I find myself backing up. I mean, I'm backing up. You have to walk from where you park, you have to walk about 50 yards down this hill. And I'm backing up from this hill, not taking my eyes off of this, you know, this bug. And so then I called the property owner. I called Fred. Thanks, Fred. Called the property owner. And he said, what is it? And I said, I was picking up the radio, getting ready to turn it on, to go down to the dock, to lay out in the sun, and the next thing I know, I see this bug. It's about 12 to 14 feet up in his tree, and it is this like neon green, and it's got a black head, and it's got black tips on its wings. I said, listen, if its wings would spread, it'd probably be 6 or 8 feet long. I said, it's the craziest thing I've ever seen. I've seen some crazy things out here on this lake. And he's like, well, I mean, come on, Scott. I mean, could it be a bat? Come on, man, a bat? I mean, why would it be? It's not a bat, Dunny. Well, could it be a locust? I'm like, no, it's not a locust. I mean, it's 12 to 14 feet up, and it's lighted on this tree. And he's like, well, don't do anything. I'll be there in about an hour or two. And I'm like, I'm thinking in my head, like, an hour or two? I mean, I'm not waiting an hour or two. I want to know what this damn thing is. I mean, I just don't believe what I see, but I just know it's real. I mean, it is right there in front of me, and I'm not stupid. Although, I mean, some of you may think differently. Don't go there. I sit around and think about what what I'm afraid of at this point is that nobody else is going to see it but me. You know, it's like catching that big fish, you know, or chipping one in the hole from about 80 yards away, and you know, it's like, yeah, well, you were by yourself, so, you know, who gives a rat's patootie? Anyway, I called the TWRA. For those of you who do not know what the TWRA is, That stands for the Tennessee Wildlife Resources Association. And I called them, I told them what I felt like I had discovered, and they told me to immediately call the police. I called 911, and I got a hold of the sheriff's department, and I cannot remember what the lady's name was that was a dispatcher, but I guarantee if you ever ran into her, she'd remember this. Anyway, she said, well, just tell me what you see. And I said, I see this big green bug. It is probably 1.5 feet tall. It is probably, I don't know how big in diameter, but I'm just telling you, if it spread its wingspan, I could just tell from all the little layers that it would be 6 or 8, feet long. And she said, well, don't go near it. And I said, duh. Like I'm gonna go near it. Anyway, I'm all the way up. I'm all the way up the hill. He's like, don't go near it. Yeah, this just in. I'm not going near it. I hang out there a while, waiting on the authorities to come, and my phone rings, and it's I can't remember who it was. It's one of the authorities. It's like, where are you? We can't find you. And I'm like, well, I'm in this private cove, and here are the directions. And here they come together. The Sullivan County, Tennessee, which is the towns of Kingsport and Bristol Motor Speedway. You all know where that's from. And so they both drive in, and the TWRA is right behind them, and I lead them out, and luckily, the bug is still in the tree when we get there. And so we both greet each other, and they said, what's going on? Where is it? We know what's going on. And I said, it's down there. Do you see it? And the one officer says he doesn't see it, and the other one says, oh, I do. And as soon as he says it, he just reaches for his holster. He pulls the gun out of the holster. We're there, and so the other guy, he finally sees it too, and so he said, okay, let's proceed slowly. So we start proceeding slowly down the hill, and I'm in front of them. I have no idea. These two officers have their weapons pulled, and I'm in front of them. I have no idea why that happened. But anyway, one of them got around me, and when we got about 20 feet away, and he goes on in, he gets within about 5 feet away, and he says, oh, well, that's not real. And I'm like, what? He said, oh, no, that's not real. He says, it looks to me, it's artificial. And he takes his billy club out after he holsters his weapon, and he goes up there and he pounds on the nail that's holding the head of this plastic bug, and he says, oh, no, it's not real. And I said, oh my gosh. I mean, the most embarrassed man in the world at that point in time, bar none. Anybody that wants to contest that, I don't know how much money I have in my pocket, but I'll bet you. Anyway, I mean, my mind told me that it was real, that it was way too far up in the tree, yada yada, whatever. So the next thing I hear is the sheriff's department, how they leave their speaker on, around their car. They're saying, what's going on with that bug on the lake? And the officer keys his mic and he goes, well, we've just determined that it's not real. It's a plastic bug from Walmart. And the dispatcher keys her mic up again. When she does, you can hear about 3 or 4 or 5 or however many. They're just cracking up in the background because they can't believe that some idiot like me saw a plastic Walmart bug in a tree that looked 14 feet up, but was probably only 7 or 8 feet, that my friend Fred put up. Thanks, Fred. I know I've gotten you several times. on practical jokes, but you did get me this time. So anyway, that's the story of the way I became known as Bugman.